Hello, this is Pastor James Hargrave. Welcome back to Greatest Love Ministries. Today we're going to go through some very staunch warnings from God about the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is going to be an identification system, kind of like a social credit score, that's going to link you biometrically to finances or your ability to conduct a transaction, a financial transaction. It's going to use woke philosophy, woke politics. It's going to support things like God that's contrary to the will of God. It's going to be supporting ideology that is opposed to Jesus Christ being our supreme Lord and the source of all truth and all righteousness in the Holy Bible. It's going to be opposed to that. And everybody's going to be required to take that biometric identification system to be able to buy or sell that's connected to this woke ideology, this woke idolatry, if you will. So here, let's look at this. There's three angels here in Revelation 14. The first one, angel comes out, has the everlasting gospel to preach. Some people think that might have been Martin Luther, and I think they might be right. Luther preached the gospel. Grace alone, faith alone, scripture alone. That's the gospel in a nutshell. And then it comes out here, and then see verse 8 here, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Now that's Washington, D.C., the throne of the beast, the city that reigns over the kings of the earth, the great city. That's Babylon. And so this angel, the second angel, is saying Babylon is fallen. So this is after the nuclear bomb goes off at Washington, D.C. I'm not positive it's a nuclear bomb, but the scriptures say the angel, and this is metaphor, this is symbolism, dips a bowl or a cup into the sun and pours out fire on the throne of the beast, Washington, D.C. So we know the sun is a nuclear process, fission, fusion. I don't know the details of it, but it's a nuclear process. So it's pouring out a nuclear bomb onto Washington, D.C., I believe. So Babylon is fallen. When this happens, there'll be a financial collapse. This is going to be the end of sacrifice and offering. When the Bible uses that term, sacrifice and offering, it's talking about our ability to have private property and worship with our own effort. To be true worship, to be free. This is not a global system anymore. I mean, it's a global system that takes that away. Sacrifice and it takes our personal property, our personal wealth away. This system will take that away, and you'll be part of the global hive mind if you take the mark of the beast. So this bomb will go off. It will collapse the system as we know it, the financial system as we know it. And that takes away sacrifice and offering. And then, so after that, sometime after that, they will impose the mark of the beast system. And I think this is going to be very connected when they set up Magog, which is a consortium of nations under Barack Obama, and they're going to have like a world currency, a Magog currency, digital currency, the biometric, the mark of the beast currency. I think these events are going to be closely linked together, like the European Union was. They have a common currency when they formed. When the European Union formed, they implemented a common currency. So the third angel comes out after Washington, D.C. is destroyed, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead, which could be facial recognition scanning. It just means face. Forehead means face, or in his hand. It could be a fingerprint. It could be an RFID chip. Whatever biometric. It could be a retina scan. Whatever biometric identity system they're going to use is going to be biometric. That's linked to this woke system. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day or night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Some lukewarm Christians are going to say, well, God would understand. I can't buy or sell. I have to feed myself. I have to feed my family. I have to pay rent, or I have to pay my mortgage. He'd understand. I don't have a choice. I have to take the mark of the beast. But it's not going to cut no ice with God. This is idolatry. This is worshiping an evil system, an evil man, an evil ideology. It's idolatry. And you will be condemned if you take the mark of the beast. You're sentencing yourself to damnation without a doubt. It says it right here: fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels. Torment. You'll be under torment forever and ever. Not just for a little bit, for a long period of time. So you need to get it out of your mind. If you're thinking, when the mark of the beast happens, if it happens, God would understand. He's not going to understand. Not that. He's not going to understand that. That's prohibited by his word. In Revelation chapter 14, it's prohibited. So get that thought out of your mind. Now I'm thinking from my study, if this breaks out around summer of 2024, that's about 12 months away, we'll be under the mark of the beast for about 15 months, maybe less. I don't know, but it does seem to imply in Daniel chapter 7 that Magog will be formed by summer 2024. And if Magog is formed, they're very likely that Magog's currency system, the mark of the beast, will be in place by that time too. So you should plan, a safe bet is to plan on having to sustain yourself for 15 months. And as Jesus said in Matthew 25, if you don't have the ability to sustain yourself while you're waiting on the Lord's return, you're being a fool. You're being a foolish virgin. You need to have some reserves. Now, if you live on a farm, if you have a garden, if you're self-sufficient, that's good. Whatever you can be self-sufficient without having to make official financial transactions. If you have something to barter with, that would work. If you have a garden, that would work. If you have storable food, that would work. But you need to plan on having about 15 months to sustain yourself without going to the grocery store, without using your debit card, without using your credit card, without using your Visa, without using cash, because cash will be outlawed. You need to have a way to sustain yourself and your loved ones for 15 months, really off-grid, disconnected from the system, the financial system. You have to be independent from that system and be able to take care of your needs. So that's the warning from God. Under penalty of damnation, he's not giving you a choice whether you should be prepared or not. He's saying, don't be a fool. Don't put yourself in that position. Because you're not, if you force yourself to be in a position where you cave in and take the mark of the beast, you're losing your soul's salvation over what? Because you were foolish and you didn't prepare when all the warning signs are there? It's in Scripture. The end times are definitely in Scripture. It's a little hard to work out the details, but we're definitely in that time period. And the Scriptures does provide a lot of evidence in detail about what's going on. So it could break out at any time. It could be longer than 15 months, but I think at least 15 months is a fair estimate of what we'll need to be under the mark of the beast. If the crisis starts this year, I don't think we're going to be under the mark of the beast till summer of next year. That's when Magog forms. That's God tells us that when Magog forms, the consortium nations, the New World Order. That's roughly summer of 2024, summer of next year. So don't be a fool. Prepare. You have a year. Even if we're under a crisis scenario, even if war has broken out, you still have the ability to save up money, buy some storable food, get some silver, get some gold. Don't be in cash. I mean, the cash system, the Babylonian monetary system that's an abomination before God, is going to be destroyed. Our current financial system is going to be destroyed. The dollar is going to be destroyed. Fiat currency is going to be destroyed. And it's going to be replaced with this biometric currency, which is still another fiat currency. Have some real money. Have some tangible assets. Gold, silver, have bullets, have guns. Gerald Celente is somebody I listen to, so he says gold, guns, and a getaway plan. That's his 3 G's. Gold, guns, and a getaway plan. You can take as much of that as you want or not. I'm going to ride it out right where I am. God's not going to give you an out. The out he gave you was to warn you ahead of time. That's why you're supposed to know the Bible. You're supposed to study it, take it to heart. You're supposed to be listening to preachers that know the Bible and take it to heart. And if you're not doing that, that's on you. He warned you in his word. He's warning you now in what I'm telling you. This time is coming. Matthew 25, the 10 virgins. Don't be one of the foolish virgins. Be one of the wise virgins that have extra oil in your lamps. Because it says in Matthew 25, he's delayed in his coming. When this crisis breaks out and they do the mark of the beast and the Antichrist is on his throne, so to speak, don't expect God to come right back or Jesus to come and rescue you. It's not going to happen. He's delayed in his coming. We're going to have to maintain ourselves for a period of time. I think that period of time will be around 15 months plus or minus. Thank you very much. Please get ready. The time is short.